This is Michelle Hunt. She is a third grade teacher at Lakeshore Elementary, and this is our interview session for social studies methods. How much do you rely on textbooks to teach social studies in your classroom?
Probably an average of 50%. We will use the textbook.
Do you use any local resources to teach social studies?
Local resources, not so much as internet resources.
How do you integrate standards into the social studies curriculum?
We integrate a lot into the reading because we have like people in economics, and we also have that standard in reading, and also with communities. There's a whole unit in reading on communities.
Do you think it is important for your students to study social studies, and why?
I think it is, but I think that there are a lot of things in social studies that the students are not getting that they do need. For example, just in third grade, a lot of them have a hard time knowing, okay, we're in Mooresville. Mooresville's in Iredell County. Iredell County is in North Carolina. North Carolina is in the United States. They think North Carolina is the United States. So I feel like they need to back it up some and teach them the foundations of the social studies.
What are some strategies you use when teaching social studies?
Well, we integrate a lot of it, and we try to make it more meaningful. If we're doing things about the community, we will use like, it's amazing that they don't know their address yet. So that's what we start with, is their address, and make pamphlets of different things like that.
How frequently do you use textbook, media, and computers during social studies instruction?
I would say 90% of the time.
How did you learn to do integrated interdisciplinary teaching?
A lot of it through, I guess, classwork, in-services. We do a lot of in-service for that. Other teachers, help from other teachers, and just knowing the content that you're teaching, it helps integrate it.
What are 2 to 3 major concerns you have about social studies education?
Oh, I already said one. Not knowing the basics. Of course, this would not be me, but some teachers, social studies and science is the last thing on your list to do for the day. So if you don't get to it, you don't get to it. So therefore, I feel a lot of students are not getting the social studies that is expected of them.
How comfortable are you with teaching social studies?
It's not my favorite. I don't think there's, you have all this reading foundation stuff and all this math foundation stuff, and there's an overabundance amount of that, but there's nothing on social studies that you can go to, and nothing on, well, science is starting to get up there, but social studies, there's not a lot.
Okay. How do you typically teach a social studies lesson?
Usually, we look in the book, and we use the book first, and then a lot of times it's research based, and so that a lot of times they do group activities. So it's more, I guess, hands-on than sit down and here's a worksheet.
How often do you teach social studies on average, and why?
Probably, okay, well, when we're doing social studies, it's probably 3 times a week for about 30 minutes each time, but it's 4 weeks social studies, and then the next 4 weeks is science, so we alternate.
Okay, and I know you mentioned that you do a lot of integration with other subjects, but so you've already answered this question. But what subjects do you integrate with social studies, and how do you do it?
We do for the when we do different heritages, I should say, I guess, we do a lot of writing on that, a lot of research where they research and they write papers based on it. Also with around Thanksgiving, we do the same thing. What else we do? Families over time, communities over time. We have a unit in our first unit in reading is about different types of communities.
Okay, so this was, again, this was Michele Hunt. She works at Lakeshore Elementary, and she's a 3rd grade teacher. So thank you, Ms. Hunt.